Welcome to the Unity I/O module replacement demonstration. For more detailed instructions, always refer to the applicable procedure on support.emc.com. To begin, we're going to log into Unisphere using the admin account. As we can see on the Unity dashboard, in the System Health window, there is a hardware issue reported. Click on the hardware icon to view more details. This brings us to the System View page. Here we can see that Storage Processor A, or SPA, I/O Module 1 needs attention. Let's click on it for more information. Now we can see where I/O Module 1 in SPA is located. Now let's take a look at the Alerts page to confirm the problem. Here we see some expected alerts that might be generated from an I/O module fault. To begin the replacement procedure, navigate to the System Service page and then select Service Tasks. In order to replace an I/O module in SPA, we must first put it in service mode. Confirm that the Enter Service Mode button for SPA is highlighted and then click Execute. When prompted, enter the service password. Entering service mode stops I/O on the SP so that it can be safely removed. Wait until the SP fault LED is flashing, alternating amber and blue before continuing to the next task. Here we can see that SPA is in service mode. Also notice that the Unsafe to Remove LED is illuminated on SPB. Make sure that you do not remove an SP with the Unsafe to Remove LED illuminated. Begin by rotating the power cord retention bail to the left and remove the power cord for SPA. Pull the torque limit screw handle out of the SP assembly and turn it counterclockwise to release SPA from the DPE. When the outward movement stops, use the handle to pull the SP partially out of the enclosure to ensure it is uncoupled from the internal power source. You do not need to fully remove the SP assembly from the enclosure to replace the I/O module. Verify that all SP LEDs are off to ensure that the SP has completed its power off after the removal from the disk processor enclosure, or DPE. It may take a few minutes for the SP to deplete its internal power source once it's removed from the DPE. Locate the faulted I/O module in the partially removed SP assembly and then label and disconnect any connected cables. Pull the trigger mechanism on the I/O module handle to release it and then gently pull the module from the slot. Align the replacement module with the empty slot and carefully push it into the enclosure. When the I/O module appears seated, push and release the small button on the handle. If the button remains in, the module is fully seated. Connect any cables that were removed earlier. Now slide the SP into the DP enclosure until it stops. Turn the orange torque limit screw handle clockwise until you hear a click sound from the handle. The click sound indicates the torque limit is reached and the SP is seated fully in the enclosure. Push the orange torque limit screw handle into the SP assembly until you hear a click again. The click indicates the screw handle is secured in the assembly. The SP will begin to boot into the service mode. Connect any cables that were removed earlier. Here we can see that SPA is in the service mode with the SP fault LED flashing, alternating amber and blue. Now we can log back into Unisphere to reboot the SP. Now that we've replaced the I/O module, let's log back into Unisphere using the admin account. Now that we are logged back into Unisphere, we can see we have some hardware issues. These are expected errors. Let's click on the hardware error to confirm. Here we can see SPA and SPB are reporting errors. If we select SPA, we can see that it's reporting that it is in service mode. If we click on SPB, we can see that it's reporting an unsafe to remove condition. Since these are both expected errors, we can now go back to the Service Task page and reboot SPA. This action will reboot SPA into normal mode. Select Reboot for SPA and then click on Execute. When prompted, enter the service password. Note that it may take up to 20 minutes for the system to complete its reboot and return to normal. After approximately 20 minutes, log out and log back into Unisphere to refresh the view. Here in the Unity dashboard, we can see a healthy system with no system health alerts. To check the I/O module status, navigate to the System View page and select the Enclosures tab. Shown here is the DPE rear view. Here we can see that SPA I/O Module 1 is now operating normally. Now let's check the alerts page. Here we can see that there are a substantial number of alerts generated with an I/O module failure and the associated replacement procedures. Most notably at the top, we can see that the storage system is now operating in normal mode. To complete the I/O module replacement, we are going to acknowledge all the alerts associated with this action. This completes the Unity I/O module replacement demonstration.